Let's look at farming Drifter Intrinsics for the Duviri Paradox. Some pretty strong stuff in here, especially when we start getting to take it back into the origin system, such as additional damage from the Drifter that affects both the Drifter and the Operator. Let's take a look at the 3 game modes that we have available. First up is the Circuit. This is realistically best if there's something here that you want. The standard version can give you a shortcut to a Warframe, but if you're getting a shortcut to it, you probably can't build it anyway. Like, if you think about Trinity, which is probably the latest one on there, you'd still need to make your way to be able to get plastids to build Trinity anyway. So you'd get the blueprints early, but you've still got to progress the game before you can even use them. So it's kind of useful, particularly if you get something that's like quest exclusive, such as Limbo. Other than that, I don't really use that very much. Circuit is actually best once you reach Steel Path, as at that point you can then start getting your Incarnate upgrades for weapons, which is a really nice way to upgrade some older weapons that you may not be using very much and make them interesting again. The Lone Story mode is basically a bounty exclusive mode. So if you imagine going along the plains of Eidolon and only doing the bounties, that is basically what Lone Story means. So this isn't a solo mode. This is more if you want to get the rewards for completing each of the stages as you go through, such as things like the arcanes and this kind of thing, then the Lone Story is best for that. That, of course, leaves us with the Duviri experience. This is definitely 100% the best way to farm intrinsics. There is a split here, though, in terms of what you're going to want to do in this zone and whether or not you want to be in public or private, depending on what it is that you want to do. In the spiral that we're in right now, this is a joy spiral. We'll call this a normal spiral because the opposite side of this is the Curvo spiral, and they are either anger, sorrow, or fear. So if this here says anger, sorrow, or fear, if you put this into public mode, people are going to come in looking to get Curvo. I'm going to do a video directly after this one in the playlist, although it may take me a few days from now to get that done because Christmas is proving difficult for me to find any time to record. If the spiral is in anything else, then the best thing to do is to go into the Duviri experience and start free roaming. I'm going to go over a few bits and bobs. If you guys want videos for each of the individual puzzles, please let me know in the comments and I'll try and get a video like that together. But most of them are pretty simple, apart from some of the vault type puzzles, but I'll show you guys some of that kind of stuff once we get in. If you found this video, I'm going to assume that you have already completed the Duviri experience, and so therefore know what most of this stuff is. Just in case you don't know everything, over there is where we look at our intrinsics and upgrade the character. This is obviously where we're going to select all of our bits and bobs, and we have Keith over there that can be customized, but that's going to be way later. In addition, something else worth noting, which I didn't notice until today actually, is that once you get a few of these spirals under your belt, you can actually purchase new weapons and stuff over here, but we're not going to be using that for the purposes of the video. Out of the equipment that you're presented with, pick whatever you like. Realistically speaking, we're not intending to use any of it when we are farming intrinsics, and I'll show you guys why as we go through the rest of the video. We are out in the open world area, and what I'm going to recommend that you do is just head in any direction you like. If you want to bring the map up, you can do. Obviously, holding the map button will give you this. To start with, you're not going to be able to do anything like fast travel, so don't worry too much about that. But for now, we're just going to go to like this northern area and start looking for some of the puzzles. Now, realistically, we want to find something that isn't combat heavy to start with. I'll try and point something like this out as we go through. I'm going to go under here because there's usually something nice under this way. So we're going to avoid combat to start with because that's going to be difficult early on, and I'm going to assume most people don't start with a free decree and re-rolls at the beginning. We're going to go ahead and find something suitable, something like a chest. Here we go. So we have one of the table ones. You should have seen this as a part of the Paradox quest. This is the one where we run around in circles, run into the purple lights, and complete it like this. Now, once we've got a couple of these under our belt, the game is going to become incredibly easy. We can have up to 150 of these active at once, so we really want to start capping these out as quickly as we can. When you're coming into here, try to go for an angle. I generally like to use the gun more, so I'm going to aim for ranged stuff and status in general. So we're going to go with inflict status effects and shots deal an extra corrosive hit and damage and status. Perfect. And we're going to continue looking for things like that as we go around. You'll see that some of the puzzles are actually marked for us with a big giant horseshoe shape. I'm going to go ahead and try and find one for you. All right, so we've got a couple of good examples here. So here's the horseshoe shape that I was talking about. So whenever you see one of those, that means there's going to be a puzzle down on the ground. This doesn't necessarily mark all of them, but it is always a good signification that there is going to be one. In addition to that, it is going to be worth doing the fishing challenge as well. The first time you complete this, you're also going to get a decree for that. So let's go ahead and give it a go. So with this, you need to be a little bit quick. So I apologize if I'm a little bit behind here because pressing buttons and recording stuff whilst we're doing this is a bit of a thing. But all you need to do, press your sprint button, go forward as quickly as you can, catch all of the fish. You can see that we've got the bar building up in the top there. And all we need to do is hit that first little temple looking sign. And that's going to guarantee that we get at least 1 decree out of it. And once it's finished, we should get ourselves some rewards. So there's a second pearl, intrinsics, and then we'll also get some materials as well. So if you are looking to build Kalervo, just so you know, that Ariete scale there, that is one of the components. I don't think the Morfang is. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to spend this. Oh, look at that. Status effects deal double damage. That sounds pretty good. Especially means we have corrosive now. Realistically, this one here is a combat shrine. I would, generally speaking, recommend that you wait before you activate it. But just so you can see this one, we need to defeat attackers, and they will drop us some little items that we have to then go ahead and pick up. So this is one of the items. You pick this up. We just keep on doing that until it fills this up. Slightly harder enemies going to spawn, and then we will get another decree. And then finally, we got the big Thrax guy. So be careful of this dude. He does hit a lot harder than the other enemies. It gives us another decree. As you are going around, pay attention to things that you can break. All of these things are going to be useful. I'm pretty sure almost everything is used by Kalervo, including some items that only appear in caves. But if you're riding around, find a cave like this one, make sure you give it exploration. This stuff I think as well we need, the cornea sprouts, so make sure you get things like that. But this is the actual rare one that is the one that I was missing when I was looking for my Kalervo. And so now all we need to do is just go exploring. Whenever we come across another horseshoe, go ahead and do another puzzle. Just gonna show you guys this one. Very simple. Just interact with it and we are in control of a bird. I guess it's an owl. Makes sense. And all we need to do is hover the cursor over the books. Wow. Had them on in a little nice tight cone for me there. Scan them and boom, we get another one. And as you can see, each decree is dropping you 3 intrinsics. And we can basically keep on doing this as much as we like. We have a race just here. I guess I might as well show you guys this because it was literally right next to where we just were. And these do spawn randomly, by the way. And there seems to be some kind of respawn mechanic. I've been in a session where there was 3 or 4 of us doing this for a couple of hours. We got 500 of these in a single session. When it comes to races, it could be much simpler and they are very easy. We just run on through the little spheres here. And as you go around, you can see we've got these extra things that we can shoot. Let me see if we can find one right there. And that's just going to add more time. You can see I've got 20 odd seconds to reach the next point just here. And we can really like get quite far ahead of it. And if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Like if you're going to miss one, take the 5-second penalty and you'll be pretty healthy anyway. It's really not that big of an issue. In fact, time's actually going up for me here. Look, kind of funny. So completing races, very simple, very easy. Don't be afraid of them. Finish off, get another decree. Got Ivani, we actually need those as well. You've been exploring around for a little while and you've decided that you are ready for the big leagues. The next thing that you kind of want to do to compound this is do this with a group. Whenever anybody completes any of these challenges, everybody gets the reward. So if I'm here doing this challenge and up on the map, somebody is down here doing other challenges, that means we both get the rewards that much faster, which means the fastest way to get this done is going to be to bring in more players. The good thing is we don't need to finish the challenge or the decrees and intrinsics to count. If I leave right now, we get everything that I got up until the last decree that I got. So if I've been collecting loads of stuff and I want to leave, I could go ahead, I could complete this challenge right here, leave on out, and that's going to give me all of the stuff that I have currently collected throughout this particular adventure. Just so you can see the reward screen, here we have mission complete, 72 intrinsics as you saw, and all of the rewards that we had gotten. A few tips when it comes to finding a group then. Try to be polite. Lots of people have different things that they're after in here, but realistically speaking, if somebody comes into this central one, they should be looking for intrinsics. If all they want to do is get the rewards from the bounties, they should go and do the lone story. And as far as I'm concerned, you should tell them that, and if they don't like it, well, then they're the a-hole, not you. When it comes to actually coming into this, you can obviously either go ahead and find yourself a party, or you can come in public. Now, there are some tricks here if somebody happens to be doing something annoying. I had an AFK farmer that was trying to sponge a load of bounties and stuff. If you get someone like that, and somebody is just messing around, and you don't want to be playing with them anymore, this is one of the best features about this. You can just come up here and leave squad. It's not even going to look like it's done anything, but somehow that has immediately put me now into my own instance of the game. People can still come and join me, and I can do that as much as I want. I won't lose any of my decrees, and I won't lose anything that I've gained so far, which means I can keep on going. And if somebody else is wanting to hunt down intrinsics with me, they can go ahead and stay. And if people don't, then we just keep on leaving the party until we have all of the intrinsics that we want. Note that we do need to get 4,080 to max out all of the different trees. What I would advise is taking note of the amount of time you had left between the next spiral, because usually the next spiral is going to be a Kalervo spiral. People are going to be getting annoyed when they come in here trying to get Kalervo whilst you're in here on your own. Just bear that in mind. Whilst there's no Kalervo, if they're messing you around, they're the a-hole. If Kalervo is is available and you're drawing people into your world when they would otherwise want to be getting Kalervo, then you the a-hole. So you need to kind of be a bit reasonable about it. There are also collectibles across the map. If you'd like to collect those, I will leave a link in the description to an interactive map page, which will allow you to locate them all if you wish to do it. They're one-time pickups that would give you just a small boost for your intrinsic, so it can be worth hunting down and kind of nice if you like being the whole completionist as you're going through the game. And my final piece of advice is to just take your time with it. If I'm being honest, this is probably some of the best content in Warframe. Whilst I know some people like to be that hyper impatient child, this part of the game is fairly enjoyable, so just take your time, have some fun with it. Maybe do a couple of runs a day. You'll have your Duviri intrinsics maxed out in no time.